Yo, what's good? What's good, people? What's popping? What's good, man? Hey, yo, check this out, man. I want to just talk about a little something. you know, and what I want to talk about is and I always say a touchy subject, but hey, man, things are getting talked about, and people are waking up. People are waking up to religion. It's religion. Religion has been having us walking sleepwalking. I must say, religion has been having us sleepwalking. And I say that because, we've been believing in the Bible. I'm just going to be straight up. We've been believing in a book that we didn't do any research on it. We didn't we don't research and see who wrote it because we all believe that it's the word of God. We think coming up from generations, this book has been passed down to us from our mama's mama, and so on and so on and so forth and so forth, right? And so it's like we're bred with that. That thing is stamped on us. Soon as we come out the womb, Christianity for most of us, or Islam, any type, any type of religion that has a name on it. Um, so we don't research the Bible. We don't test the spirit by the spirit like the Bible tells you. We don't understand that the Bible is a remixed book of other ancient writings, remixed and put together. That's why you have contradictions in there. But our man is so gone on the Bible that even when you see a contradiction, you're taught that the Bible doesn't contradict itself, that God doesn't contradict himself. But that's the biggest problem of the Bible, the God of the Bible. Now I know those who are Christians or whatever, and those who may have, those who believe wholeheartedly in the Bible. What I'm saying to you, it might not register. But for those who it's time to wake up out that slumber, it's gonna register. For those that this is for, you gonna get it. Because truth is not truth until you decide what truth is. But until you start to do your research and test the spirit by the spirit. And before I go on, I want to say this. Now, I believe in a creator. I believe in a prime creator, the creator of the cosmos. But the creator, you can't see the creator like you see me and you see yourself. The creator is not in the form of man or one man. Now, you have to know the difference between the creator and gods. The creator of all is the creator of gods. But everybody has a free will to do what they want to do. So when you look in the Bible and it say God, that means Elohim. That's for plural. That means Gods, gods. So when you're in the Bible and you see and it said, let us make man in our image. Those were gods, little g's. You know what I'm saying? So you have to first understand that and know that when you see these gods in the Bible, like Yahweh, that's not the creator. Then you have to go back and put the puzzle together and understand the people that wrote the Bible. The people that wrote the Bible was writing about gods. Because if you want to get into it, the Israelites worship many gods back in 2,000 years ago. They worship many gods. All right, they worship more than one God. And did you know that the God Yahweh was nothing but a little local God at first before it became the prime creator according to the biblical writers? A little local God. Yahweh was a little local God, wasn't even heard of. So the Israelites was like, you know what? I'm tired of serving all these gods. Let's just pick one of these gods to serve. And they chose Yahweh. And when you read the Bible, the God of the Bible has killed more people than Satan himself, according to the writings, according to the text. Now, you got people that might want to debate this or whatever, but look, it is what it is, because when you start to think for yourself and do your own research, you'll understand, like, damn, well, that's the God of the Bible is jealous, a jealous God. Why would the creator of all need to be jealous of anything? And why? If the Israelites was a chosen people, why are chosen people who are chosen of God don't even have their own land? They had to go and take other people's lands. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm telling you, let me just flow with the flow. The God of the Bible, Yahweh. The God of the Bible, Yahweh, is so wicked that it told the Israelites to go and smite Amalek, to go kill the women, to go kill the husbands, to go kill the children, and the cattle and the sucklings. Do you know a suckling is a baby that's still on its mother's breast? A suckling is a baby that's still on its mother's breast. Now I know some people be like, yeah, with the Amalekites, they had to do that because they was killing the Israelites. Yeah, according to the scripture, yeah. So they will bring that out. But my thing is this: okay, why kill the babies? I done seen plenty parents who was acting a fool, but the baby may went the other route because they didn't want to go the route their parents went. So they changed their life. What about repentance in the Bible? What? That's your Bible. You know what I'm saying? That's what the wicked God, Yahweh, was about. Killing. Turn around, get mad at you, and kill you. Yahweh has killed so many people in the Bible, don't make no sense. I'm sick of these niggas. Send a flood on them. You know what I'm saying? So you really got to get into the things. And I'm just gonna, I'm just going off the brain. I'm freestyling right now, because I just want to have a talk without me putting up stuff and sharing screens. Just, you know what I'm saying? Like if we was in a room together and we just be talking, you feel me? So the thing, according to the Bible, do you know, and I was an Israelite for a while. I was an Israelite for a long time. Now, before I go on, like I say, I believe in a prime creator. I believe in a creator, but I don't believe in that. I don't believe in a God because I'm a God. Women, you a goddess. And if you pass and leave this realm, you can become a god or a goddess yourself, or what they call angels, and watch over your loved ones. But the Bible had you not believing that, but it's not a belief. That's the thing. We like objective truth. So the Bible just had you somewhere everywhere. Like for instance, in the first book of Genesis, chapter 1, I think like 26, 26, 27, 28 verse, we're told that we was given the herbs, the fruits of the trees was for meat for us. Vegan. And in the Bible it says that God doesn't change. So we was given, according to the Bible said you were given the herbs, the fruit from the trees and things like that. I'm paraphrasing, but it was for meat. That was meat, fruits and vegetables, right? Then when you get on down to Deuteronomy, Leviticus, when the flood came, now everything changed, and now you can eat dead animal flesh. You went from vegan to dead animal flesh. And if you look at the Bible and you read it, you're like, damn, well, the lifespan was high when it was on a vegan diet. But once they started eating dead animal flesh, the lifespan went down. That's wild. So first you was vegan, and then you now the God of the Bible telling you that you can eat dead animal flesh. And people will call you out of covenant if you don't eat a lamb on the Passover. That's a law. If you don't eat a lamb on Passover, you got people walking around like, look at them. Yeah, they think they all that. They ain't even keeping these laws of God. Come on, man. Stuff like that. Keep the Sabbath day holy. People don't know when the Sabbath day is. Times and months and days been changed. You can look this stuff up. Matter of fact, I'm gonna post a video about the Sabbath day, about how I forgot the guy's name, but I'm gonna post it about how days was taken out and then added. People don't even know when a Sabbath day is. You make your own Sabbath day when you want to rest. But the laws in the Bible, who can keep them? People be trying to keep the feast days, don't even know you got this group doing this feast day this month, this group doing it that month. Everything is mixed up. It's chaos. Just a bunch of killing. A bunch of rules that people can't keep. And you know why? Because you should be keeping the laws of the universe. Man can rewrite books. Man can change laws and change times. But one thing you can't do is change the laws of the universe, the yin and the yang. You have to choose a side, good or bad, hot or cold. Hot water and cold water can't come out the same faucet. Your book tell you that. You know? Even Yahshua. Now, if you don't believe that Yahshua really walked the earth, you know what I'm saying? That's for you to debate, but I'm just gonna go off this. Yeah, the Yahshua that I read about, the Nazarene at Sing, and that simply means the keepers of the original laws. Yahshua was Essenes. Look that up. You see my name, Nazarene Essene TV. And before I go, no, we shouldn't be eating dead animal flesh. It doesn't go with our body. Our teeth are not structured to chew meat. That's why you need toothpicks. Our teeth are structured to eat fruits and vegetables, seeds and nuts. Pause for those that's on the pause game. The acid in our stomach is not powerful enough to devour and get rid of dead animal flesh. That's why we have worms and parasites. Our hands were made to pick fruits and vegetables. Fruits and vegetables, seeds, nuts. That's what our hands were made for. You don't have sharp claws to rip out a deer and scale it and clean it. You can't run a deer down on all fours and catch it. You got to make a gun to shoot it. You wasn't here to eat fish. You got to make a fishing pole to catch it. You see what I'm saying? We wasn't put here to eat dead animal flesh. You're a walking corpse. You're a walking graveyard with dead bodies, dead animals in your stomach. And you wonder why you got attitudes and your mood off and stuff like that. Because when they killed those innocent animals. Those animals were so much in fear, so scared, so much adrenaline in them that when they killed it, because they say life is in the blood, and then you done ate that animal, and then you got anxiety. Now you scared. But then you got people say, well, oh, they drain the blood out. You cook the blood out, you can eat it. Let me tell you something. You're not getting rid of that, because when you fix a steak, all you doing is you got sauteed blood and onions. It's just turned brown. You got seasoned blood and steak, dead animal flesh. You're eating something that piss, excuse my language, but I got to go there so you can really get it. You eating something that piss, shit, throw up, have sex, have veins, get sick, have balls, a vagina, a Disney. You eat that. You might as well eat a dog or a cat. And y'all be talking about Chinese people. Oh, they eat cats. Well, goddamn it, you eat cows. You eat deer. And then if you get country, you want to get country. I'm from Virginia. You know, people be eating goddamn raccoons. They eat coons. And you see, when people eat gator meat and stuff like that, we're not supposed to be eating that, especially the melanated people. We were not meant to eat that. But there is another race of people whose stomach acid is more powerful than ours. They thrive on a meat diet. And let's get this straight. People like to talk about, well, you know what, man, you got to eat to your blood type. Let me tell you something. The guy D. Admo or whatever, the doctor who made up the blood type diet, do your research on that. Please do your research on the blood type diet, because I have. And I ain't never I always who made you the blood type diet? God. So the blood type diet, even the other scientists and people would tell you that it's not facts. The blood type diet is not facts. And he got you on O blood type, and this, you're a hunter's blood type, and you should be eating this. I seen David Banner. David Banner been a vegan for I don't know, some years. And then he said he got it with Ergo Badu, and she told him, yo, check out your blood type. So he said he checked his blood type out, and I think he was O negative, and that's a hunter's blood. Like, it goes back to your DNA back then. So I guess he like, damn, my blood type goes back to the African people. You know what I'm saying? And it was hunters. So now he was like, I see why I see why I had cravings for meat. So now he's going off this white man's blood type diet, and now he eats steaks. He was cooking the steak while he was doing it, off of somebody else's information. When you look up and research the blood type diet, it's not even facts. It even tells you that the best diet is, I don't like calling it diet, but the best way to go is on fruits and vegetables. In that part, when they talking about the blood type diet, they was like, it's not facts that them blood type diets that he made and wrote a book about, it doesn't even work. It may work on some people, because some people, another race of people, they thrive off of meats, because we're different. I'm just gonna be straight up. We melanated. We different from other races. We different. We the gods and the goddesses that people talk about, but we're not the creator. So there's a lot of things you got to look up, you know what I'm saying, before because I forgot the name of that word, but you know what I'm telling you, it's gonna kick on quick, and you're gonna be like, I ain't trying to hear what he got to say, because that's what you used to. Yes, I've been vegan for 4 years. No animal flesh. I'm talking about me and my wife. We've been vegan for 4 years. Never looked back, never slipped up, because we love the animals. And I got the information, and I gave the information to my wife, and the next day she cleared out the whole refrigerator. She cleared out the whole cabinets. Everything there that had animal in it. Sugar. We don't eat white sugar. We don't do white sugar. Why? Because that has bone char in it. Animal bones. Don't do milk. We don't do nothing. Nothing. Anything that has animals in it, we don't do it. For one thing, we love the animals. Those are little brothers and sisters. And if you look at certain scriptures in the Bible, it tells you that too about not killing animals and stuff like that. Because the Bible has everything you want for any side. The Bible got in there about being vegan, and the Bible got in there about eating dead animal flesh. So it's like you got to choose a side. Which one you going to pick? I'm going to pick the love side. I ain't going to pick the wicked side. So it's a lot of things that we've been taught, but the Yahshua, the Nazarene that's seen Yahshua talks about veganism. But you ain't gonna find them books. The Gospel of the Nazarenes. You're not gonna find them. You ain't gonna hear people talking about them. They're gonna try to debunk them and debate them, saying, "Oh, the people that wrote them, they was vegan." You know what I'm saying? You just go back and look, and you will see many teachings. Yahshua was really being taught some things at a young age, and I encourage you to go get them books. I got them. Matter of fact, give me a minute. I just ain't want to do this because I broke my glasses, and the only glasses I got is my work glasses, and they got bifocals on them. But you know what? Just for that, I'm gonna read something. I'll be right back. You gotta do your own research, man. You gotta do your own studying. You know what I'm saying? Because they remix the Bible. The Bible it contradicts itself. The Bible is remixed. When you read the Bible, you gotta really decode the Bible because it's so much of you got the Council of Nicaea, who look that up. The Council of Nicaea, they're the ones Constantine and them. They're the ones who butchered the Bible and got people to take from other ancient books, but put this part in it and leave that part out, but add my belief in here. And that's why it's contradiction in the Bible. But the Bible has some nuggets in it too. It has some jewels in it. But you have to chew. This is what my mama used to tell me. You have to chew the meat, son, and spit out the bones. Rest in peace, Mom Dukes. Watch over me. And now I said you chew the vegetables or chew the fruit and spit out the seeds. In everything you read, I don't believe nothing 100% that I read, but I take the good and I throw the bad out. So this one I'm ready to read right here. This is the Gospel of the Holy 12. Hold on. Let me see. Jesus says no to meat. Don't let the name get to you. Jesus says no to meat. So check this out. Let me see. Let me see what it's at. You gotta understand, you gotta study, and you gotta read for yourself, man. Because you got the God of the Bible and they're wicked. The God of the Bible. Why you think when you see Israelites and stuff like that, why you think you see them, they so mad that when they talking, they so mad, they always want to debate? Because the God of the Bible is evil, jealous, wicked God. Used to be a little local God. Little local God. Now I'm going to read this part from the origins of the Gospel of the Holy 12, right? This gospel record is the recovered document from which the four gospels as we have them today were built upon. It was the first formulated life of the Christ and was written by St. John around the year 70 AD. When he was imprisoned in Rome and given page by page to one whom he could trust. When the scroll was completed and after its contents had been made known to the apostles, it was taken to Tibet by the same disciple, who left it in the care of the unnamed Lama. Here, it remained until a fraile named Placidus visited the monastery in the 18th century and asked if he might show it to the church authorities in Rome. There we go. The scroll was then given to him, and on the way home, which took a long time, he translated a portion of it into Latin, and on his arrival in Rome, read it to the assembled cardinals. At first, they were impressed, but as he proceeded to reveal the contents, they realized that to make it known would discredit the church, which had, during the Council of Nicaea, eliminated from the gospel the master's teaching about the love and care of animals and about abstaining from eating flesh foods. You heard that? And so the scroll was hidden away in the archives of the Vatican. Let me take it back. Let's go back. The scroll was then given to him, and on the way home, which took a long time, he translated a portion of it into Latin, and on his arrival in Rome, read it to the assembled cardinals. At first, they were impressed, but as he proceeded to reveal the contents, they realized that to make it known would discredit the church, which had, during the Council of Nicaea, eliminated from the Gospels the master's teaching about the love and care of animals and about abstaining from eating flesh foods. And so the scroll was hidden away in the archives of the Vatican, where it remains to this day. The reason this gospel contains much that is in St. Matthew's, Mark, Luke, John is because there were many gospels written about this time containing the true teachings of Yahshua, but this was the only one that escaped the pen of the correctors because they did not know of its existence. That's just the beginning of the gospel of the Holy 12. Now I'm telling you, you have to really get into things and start to do your own due diligence, man. You got to research everything you read. Look it up. Because when you start to research and you start to get into the Bible, you'll be like, damn, man, the God of the Bible is wicked. Because then in the God of the Bible, you got who was the prophet of Elijah or whatever, and you had some kids. This is in the Bible. And before I say this, I want to say this. We joke every day. We used to joke every day. I know y'all can attest to this. I just turned 52, November the 12th. I'm a 73, baby. Right? We used to joke. Don't come outside if you ain't know how to joke. To this day, it taught me. So we used to joke all day. Me and my wife still joke. So I'm saying that to say this. In the Bible, you have the young kids calling the prophet Elijah. Look at bald head. They was calling him bald head, joking about his bald head. You know what he did according to the Bible? It says, according to his Lord, he cursed those young men that was joking about his bald head. And it says, verbatim, he called upon his Lord, the capital L-O-R-D. And in the Bible, when it's the capital L-O-R-D, they talking about that God that they worship, that God of the Bible, Yahweh. According to them, that's their supreme God, deity that the world thinks is the creator, but it's not. Curse them for for 2 she-bears. Curse them, and 2 she-bears came out and ate and mauled those kids for joking and calling him bald head. That's wicked. That's crazy. And then you have people saying yeah, you shouldn't have been messing with a prophet. Come on, man, them kids was joking. Who's serving a God like that? Because he said he cursed them. He called on in the name of his Lord, Yahweh, the God of the Bible. Don't nobody mess with nobody like that. I ain't serving no man. I got my mind right. I give all honor and praise to the Creator, the one you can't see, the one that doesn't have a butt like you and me, the one who has set up laws of the universe. And you have free will to do what you want. The laws of the universe is already set up for you. If you're a giver and you love to give, that's why people in church, when they give tithes and stuff like that, but we know the pastors and them be tripping. But the people that's giving from their heart, that's why they always have money, because that's a law of the universe. If you give, you're going to get it back tenfold, especially when you're a giver with a good heart. That's one of the laws of the universe. If you making sure that people is okay and you looking out for people and you taking care of people, the laws of the universe gonna shoot it back to you because that's the energy and the frequency you giving out. That law ain't written by a man. Eating lamb on the Passover day, that's a man-written law. You know what I'm saying? So you got to get back to the laws of the universe because the creator set them in place. If you go out here and you robbing and stealing, that's the frequency, that's the energy you putting out. It's gonna come back. Somebody gonna rob your ass, or you gonna get killed while you robbing somebody because that's the type of energy you with. You on some wicked stuff. You gotta pick a side. You gotta understand. It's simple. Live a good, quiet life and do good. Be emotionally intelligent. Only come off when it's time to come off, when it's time to protect yourself. Of course, if somebody come in my house, let me say this. Of course, if I have to protect myself to protect my family, I'm going to do that. Don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted. But the thing is to do good and to others. Do unto others as you would have done it to you. You see, that come from the Bible. That's good. That's universal, though. That's why you got to decode that. I know that's universal. I know man ain't write that down. So I take from out the Bible too what's good, but the bad I throw away. But what I'm gonna get into, you know what? I talked about the Sabbath day, and I said I wasn't gonna do no sharing, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it. I'm gonna show you how these days will change. Let's go ahead and get into it since I'm here. So bear with me because I'm just chilling. I'm in the house chilling. You know. Let me see. Let's see. We're gonna go ahead and have some fun. Let's see if I can. I'm trying to remember the dude's name. Let's see. Let's see. All right. Let's see. Yeah, man, you gotta. Hey, I got these on again because I broke my glass, so I got bifocals in my work glasses. You feel me? Let's see. I'm gonna find this. I'm gonna find it. What was his name? Bear with me. Bear with me. I'm gonna find it. All right. Let me see. I forget how you do that. I ain't even gonna do it. Y'all just bear with me. Let's see. What was that man name? I'm gonna find it, fam. Let's see. Let's see. My boy, man, talk to me now. Where you at, baby? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna let it come to me, man. But what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna read something from out this book, and hopefully the name come to me. But I'm gonna read a little bit from out this book right here. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna read from out this book right here. This the Gospel of the Holy 12. Read some of this. Halil. I got it. It came to me. I got it. I got it. That's how my mind work. I know how my mind work. Talk to me. I'm spelling this wrong. You know what? I know how to get to it. Y'all bear with me, man. I thought I had it, you know? Let me go check one of my labs because I actually go lab on this a lot. Let's see. We got to get to it. Hold on, fam. And I'm still going to read some of this book, too. All right. And you want to get to something, man. It's crazy how. Let's see. Let's see. Because I got to show y'all this. Got to show it to you. All right. Well, I don't want to keep y'all too much, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I ain't keeping y'all because I'm making a video. You dig? But check this out. What I'm going to do. Where is you, baby? Damn, I made a lot of video. I made a lot. All right. Well, look, I'm going to get back to it, but I do get it because I know I'm going to get to it. But check this out. There we go right here. Let's read some of this. The truth shall make you free. Then said Yahshua to those Jews which believed on him, if ye continue in my word, then are ye my disciples indeed, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. They answered him, we be Abraham's seed. We be Abraham's seed, and were never in bondage to any man. How sayest thou, ye shall be made free? Yahshua answered them, verily, verily, I say unto you, whosoever committeth sin is the servant of sin. And the servant abideth not in the house forever, but the son, even the daughter, abideth forever. If the son therefore shall make you free, ye shall be free indeed. I know that you are Abraham's seed after the flesh, but you seek to kill me because my word has no place in you. I speak that which I have seen with my parent, and ye do that which ye have seen with your parent. Check them out now. Check Yahshua out. They answered and said unto him, Abraham is our father. Yahshua said unto them, if you were Abraham's children, you would do the works of Abraham. But now you seek to kill me, a man that has told you the truth, which I have heard of the Creator. This did not Abraham. Ye do the deeds of your father. Then said they to him, we be not born of fornication. We have one Father, even God. Yahshua said unto them, if the Creator were your parent, ye would love me, for I proceed forth and came from the Creator. Neither came I of myself, but the All Holy sent me. Why do you not understand my speech? Even because you cannot hear my word. You are of your father, the devil. Check him out now. And the lust of your father you will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abide not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. Now, before I go any further, when you look in the Bible and you read and you look in the Bible, you'll see that how evil that the God Yahweh was in the Old Testament. You'll see like, damn, well, why Yahshua getting down here and saying turn the other cheek and stuff like that, when the so-called Old Testament tell you an eye for an eye. Yahshua understood and knew, or the people that wrote the book knew that you had to choose a side. You was gonna choose evil or good, the wicked God or the creator of love. But let's go. Because the creator's not about war. That's why so much war around here now, because it's written in the Bible. That was man writing in the Bible about war. So now when it comes to times like this, they could go back to the Bible and say, look how they did it. And people won't say nothing against it because you got war in the Bible. But that was their belief system. That's why they wrote that stuff in there. A tribute to the evil, wicked God. Because they served wicked gods back then, not the creator. All right. You are of your father, the devil, and the lust of your father ye would do. He was a murderer from the beginning. Go there, smite Amalek, kill all of them. Women, man, children, little sucklings, and cattle. God damn it, even the animals. What did the animals do? That's wild. Ye are of your father, the devil, and the lust of your father ye would do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abide not in the truth, because there's no truth in him. And I want to let y'all know there's no truth until you decide what truth is. So if you believe whatever you believe in, that's on you. I don't do no judging, because truth is not truth until you decide what truth is. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. And because I tell you the truth, ye believe me not. And Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, so must the son and daughter of man be lifted up, that whosoever gazeth, believing, should not perish, but have everlasting life. Which of you conceiveth me of sin? Hold on. Let me see. Let's see if I cut to the chase real quick. Because you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. Then answered the Jews, which of you conceiveth me of sin? Convicteth me of sin. And if I say the truth, why do you not believe me? He that is of the Creator hears the Creator's words. Ye therefore hear them not, because ye are not of the Creator. This Yahshua talking to them. Then answered the Jews and said unto him, the Jews, the Israelites. Then answered the Jews and said unto him, say we not well that thou art a Samaritan and has a demon? Yahshua answered, I have not a demon. But see, when you get on that truth and that love, and you start going against the norm, and you start going against the lies, now you got a demon on you. And that's then answered the Jews and said unto him, say we not well that thou art a Samaritan and has a demon? Yahshua answered, I have not a demon, but I honor the all holy. You heard how I honor the all holy. And ye do dishonor me, and I seek not my own glory, but the glory of the Creator. But there is one who judges. And certain of the elders and scribes, certain of the elders and scribes from the temple came unto him, saying, why do thy disciples teach men that it is unlawful to eat flesh of beasts, though they be offered in sacrifices as by Moses ordained? Now stop right there. You see, Yahshua was going with the scribes. They're the ones that was writing down stuff. They were scribing stuff. The scribes changed a whole lot of things. That's in your Bible too. The scribes changed the laws into laws. Look it up. I would, but look it up. Where I'm at. And certain of the elders and scribes from the temple came unto Yahshua. Why do your disciples teach men that it is unlawful to eat the flesh of beasts, though they be offered in sacrifice as by Moses ordained? For it is written, God said to Noah, the fear and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the field and every bird of the air and every fish of the sea. Into your hand they are delivered. And Yahshua said unto them, you hypocrites. Well did Isaiah speak of you and your forefathers, saying, this people draweth nigh unto me with their mouths and honor me with their lips. I know y'all heard this before if you read the Bible. But their heart is far from me, for in vain do they worship me, teaching and believing the teaching for divine doctrines, the commandments of men in my name, but to satisfy their own lusts. And also Jeremiah bare witness when he said concerning blood offering and sacrifices, as the Lord God commanded none of these things in the day that ye came out of Egypt. That's in Jeremiah chapter 7:22, I believe. And also Jeremiah bare, you see, but this is the stuff that they hid. This is the gospel of the Nazareth, the gospel of the Holy 12. These are the books that they try to hide them and try to burn them. I already read that to you from the beginning part in the origins of the gospel of the Holy 12, right? So it said, and also Jeremiah bare witness when he said concerning blood offerings and sacrifices, as the Lord God commanded none of these things in the day that ye came out of Egypt. But only this I commanded you to do: righteousness, walk in the ancient paths, do justice, love mercy, and walk humbly with thy God. Not sacrifices. You know what I'm saying? Not sacrifices. But people say that's a contradiction right there. The God of the Bible got you sacrificing goats and bulls, cut off goat heads. The Creator don't need that. The Creator don't need you to cut off a damn goat head. You ain't got to sacrifice no bloody animal because you done messed up. No, when you mess up, what you do? You get back up on your feet. You do a 160 because you don't do a 360 because 360 had you right back where you was at. You do a 180. You change your ways. And you got people sacrificing lambs now on Passover, innocent animals. And also Jeremiah bare witness when he said concerning blood offerings and sacrifices, as the Lord God commanded none of these things in the day that ye came out of Egypt. But only this I commanded you to do: righteousness, walk in the ancient paths, do justice, love mercy, and walk humbly with their God. But ye did not hearken to me. You did not listen to me, who in the beginning gave you all manner of seed and fruit of the trees, and seed having been for food and healing of man and beast. It was for man and beast. Food, meat, hitting you with the Genesis. I told you the Bible is a remix of ancient books. It said go back to the ancient path. The ancient path was eating fruits and vegetables, not sacrificing animals and eating them. Come on, man. The gospel of the Holy 12, man. Our people, you got to wake up, y'all. But look, I'm going to get to this, though. I still got to get to that Sabbath day, man. Like I be having a lot of stuff to say, but I be having so much stuff on my mind, like to say. Sometimes it just don't come off right because I don't be wanting, because I'm still on that tip. I don't want to offend nobody. You know what I'm saying? I understand what somebody at. I don't want nobody that just come this. I don't want nobody that's been like selling, because you know what I'm saying, that's been selling dope, selling drugs, and they found a way to get from out there, and it's like going to church help them, like Christianity help them to to stop selling dope, or Christianity church help them to not want to do dope and to get off drug addiction. I don't want to stray nobody away from that. You know what I'm saying? Because your truth is your truth. Truth is not truth until you decide what truth is. So if that's helping somebody, sometimes like, no, like I don't want to do that. Somebody watch this and then get them off that path. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody has their path for their own. You know what I'm saying? And I had to go that route. I came out the streets. I had to go that route, but I just know I am a spiritual brother. I have no, you know what I'm saying? I have no religious system in me, so that's what I be on. I don't want to, take people off their path of healing because everybody got their path. Come on, I gotta get this right. I gotta heal. Hold on. This gotta be it right here, man. You gotta help me out now. That's crazy. I can't find it, man. I gotta find it though. I gotta find the family. Hold on. Maybe I can find it right here. Let's see in my search. I got it. I got it. I got it, baby. There we go. I got it, baby. Bear with me, man. I got on my work glasses, man. Come on now. I'm just gonna share my one because hold on. I'm spelling this wrong. All right. It's okay. It's all right. I'm gonna share my one. I did it. It's all right. There we go. Sorry for the wait, like Lil Wayne. We're gonna get into it. All right, let me share this screen. Family. Bam. 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 Add screen. Let me see if I can make my jump small. Nah. Hold on.
The Saturday Swindle, Part 2. In the 4th century CE, the ancient Sabbath was supplanted by Saturday through a change in calendars. The true Sabbath of Scripture was lost. Hillel II, the priestly politician. Constantine the Great, emperor of the Roman Imperium, united pagans and Christians by exalting Sunday as a day of worship for them both. He shifted the memorial of the Savior's death from being commemorated at Passover on the biblical calendar to celebrating Easter Sunday on the Julian calendar. Constantine's son, Constantius, went one step further. He outlawed the use of the biblical calendar for Jews as well. In subsequent years, the Jews went through iron and fire. The Christian emperors forbade the Jewish computation of the calendar and did not allow the announcement of the feast days. Graetz says, the Jewish communities were left in utter doubt concerning the most important religious decisions as pertaining to their festivals. The immediate consequence was the fixation and calculation of the Hebrew calendar by Hillel II. As Constantine was the power behind an action that ultimately led to the loss of the biblical calendar for use by Christians, so another man, a Jew, was responsible for a reaction producing consequences just as far-reaching. Hillel II, the president of the Sanhedrin, adapted the annual feasts to the Julian calendar. He also transferred worship from the biblical Sabbath to the Saturday of the planetary week. Prior to the destruction of Jerusalem, the high priest had been in charge of the calendar, while the Sanhedrin, rabbinical Supreme Court, presided in Jerusalem. There was no set calendar. They would evaluate every year to determine whether it should be declared a leap year. This task fell to the president of the Sanhedrin when the priesthood was no more. Under the reign of Constantius, 337 to 362 CE, the persecutions of the Jews reached such a height that the computation of the calendar was forbidden under pain of severe punishment. In reaction to this situation, Hillel II, in 359 CE, took the extraordinary step of modifying the ancient biblical calendar that Jews and Christians might more easily coexist. Declaring the new month by observation of the new moon and the new year by the arrival of spring can only be done by the Sanhedrin. In the time of Hillel II, the last president of the Sanhedrin, the Romans prohibited this practice. Hillel II was therefore forced to institute his fixed calendar, thus in effect giving the Sanhedrin's advance approval to the calendars of all future years. With Hillel's new calendar system, distant communities would no longer have to wait for messengers from the president of the Sanhedrin to know when a new month had started. Each community would be able to determine for themselves when a new month began and when a 13th month was to be added. When Hillel II fixed the calendar, he incorporated leap years on a permanent basis. It is possible, but not provable, that this particular cycle of leap years was used and understood prior to Hillel, as it follows the 19-year Metonic cycle. Hillel based his calendar on mathematical and astronomical calculations rather than observations. This calendar, still in use, standardized the length of months and the addition of months over the course of a 19-year cycle so that the lunar calendar realigns with the solar years. Hillel declared a 13th month to be intercalated in the 3rd, 6th, 8th, 11th, 14th, 17th, and the 19th years of the 19-year cycle. But Hillel did more than make known a 19-year cycle of intercalations that was, in all probability, used all along. He also transferred the observance of the ancient Sabbath from the 8th, 15th, 22nd, and 29th days of the lunar month to every Saturday of the Julian months. This change necessitated another: rules of postponement. Rules of postponement are a set of regulations for controlling when the new moon can be declared. Under certain conditions, the rules of postponement delay the declaration of new moon for an additional day. These rules of postponement are: 1. The Jewish New Year, Feast of Trumpets, may not fall on Sunday, Wednesday, or Friday. 2. If the new moon, or Molad, for the 7th month falls on Sunday, Wednesday, or Friday, the new moon is postponed until the following day. 3. If the Molad of the 7th month in a common year occurs on Tuesday at 3 a.m. and 2:04/1080 parts or later, the new moon is postponed until Thursday. 4. In a common year, following a leap year, if the Molad of the 7th month occurs after 9 a.m. and 589/1080 parts on a Monday morning, new moon is postponed until Tuesday. The change of the weekly Sabbath from the lunisolar calendar to Saturday is clearly implied by the needed rules of postponement which, prior to Hillel's fixing of the calendar, had been unnecessary. According to the Jews themselves, the new moon is still, and the Sabbath originally was, dependent upon the lunar cycle. When both the Sabbath and the annual feasts are calculated on the lunisolar calendar, rules of postponement are unnecessary. It is only when the yearly feasts are calculated by one calendar and the weekly Sabbath is calculated by yet another, there are conflicts requiring rules of postponement. Without the rules of postponement, the annual feasts come into conflict with Saturday. For example, if Feast of Trumpets, new moon for the 7th month, were to fall on a Sunday, the last day of Feast of Tabernacles would fall on a Saturday. This would conflict with the traditional observance for the last day of the feast. Hence the need for the first and second rules of postponement. The third rule of postponement ensures the common year in question would not be longer than 355 days. The fourth rule of postponement guarantees a common year following a leap year is not shorter than 383 days. This fixed calendar is highly regimented. There are exactly 14 different patterns that the Hebrew calendar year may take, distinguished by the length of the year and the day of the week on which Rosh Hashanah falls. Because the rules are complex, a pattern can repeat itself several times in the course of a few years and then not recur again for a long time. But the Jewish calendar is known to be extremely accurate. It does not lose or gain time as some other calendars do. This was an act of survival by Hillel II. It was made in response to the brutal persecutions of Constantine's son Constantius. With his own hand, the Patriarch destroyed the vast bond which united the communities dispersed throughout the Roman and Persian empires with the Patriarchate. He was more concerned for the certainty of the continuance of Judaism than for the dignity of his own house, and therefore abandoned those functions for which his ancestors had been so jealous and solicitous. The members of the Sanhedrin favored this innovation. When Hillel II fixed the calendar, he effectually gave permission to the Jews to worship on Saturday for all future time. Only he, as president of the Sanhedrin, could do this. Today, over 1600 years later, the action of Constantine and its action by Hillel II are still impacting hundreds of millions of people around the world. Because of these two men, 1. Catholics worship on Sunday in honor of the resurrection. This is in accordance with the Act of Constantine, which changed the observance from a lunisolar calculated Passover to the pagan solar calculated Easter. 2. Jews worship on Saturday because Talmudic law justifies the act of keeping one day in 7 when one does not know when the true Sabbath falls. 3. Most Protestants join with Catholics in worshiping on Sunday, the first day of the modern Gregorian week, assuming it is the day of the resurrection. 4. Saturday Sabbath-keeping Protestants worship on Saturday because it is the 7th day of the modern week, and they assume, since the Jews worship on Saturday, it must be the biblical Sabbath. 5. Muslims, likewise, honor the pagan papal Gregorian calendar keeping by going to mosque for prayers on Friday. It is not possible to find the true seventh-day Sabbath using the modern Gregorian calendar. This solar calendar is nothing more than a pagan method of time calculation.
All right, family. I just wanted to, present that because I was talking about it earlier, and I had to show that, they don't know what they're keeping. They don't know